Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Last Week in Esports. I'm your host, Trainer Jared TV, and I apologize for the delay. Been in Boston all week for the RLCS Boston Major, so this episode is going to be a day late. It's going to come out on Tuesday, and I apologize. Also, perfect timing. It was a huge week in Esports. Big Rocket League event, tons of news in League of Legends, big Smash event, and plenty more. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into the news. In what can only be described as perfection, Team Vitality pulls off the impossible, and they have a perfect split. Not only did they sign Zen, but they won all 3 European regionals, which, judging by this major, is the best region in the world, and then came to North America for the Boston Major and dominated. Sure, they lost to BDS once in uppers, but then they made the amazing run through lowers to then bracket reset on Team BDS in the grand finals. I believe the grand finals record was 8-3. Brutal. And let me tell you, as someone who was at the event, Boston Major did not disappoint. I said it before, I think this was going to be the most mechanical Rocket League event we've ever seen, and the level of play surely did not disappoint. But that is unless you're a North American Rocket League fan, because NA did not do well. But ignoring North America, because we want to, MENA, Rule 1, did phenomenal. They placed top 4 in perhaps still probably the best sweep we've ever seen. So Vitality swept Rule 1 in the 4th place match. And sure, Rule 1 lost 4-0. But almost every game, if not every game, was by 1 goal. We then had the longest overtime in Rocket League history. LAN Rocket League history. Let me fix that. But, oh my gosh. Rule 1, you have to give it up for them. What an amazing performance. And I think seeing them at Worlds, they're going to be a different beast. But jumping back to Team Vitality, Zen is that guy. There were a ton of doubts about Zen when he got picked up. Like, is he going to live up to the hype? I mean, how does this one skill translate to 3s? And I hope those people are silent now. Team Vitality had the perfect split. They are going to go into Worlds with so much momentum. I think they are probably the favorite. Sure, there were a little bit of mistakes, especially in day 1 for them. But obviously, they overcame those and had probably the greatest major performance of all time. So shout out to them. 16-year-old Zen is the prodigy and the GOAT. Jumping back to North America, some pretty big news. Squishy Muffins and NRG are no longer together. Squishy Muffins has left NRG, been kicked off. Wording is kind of ambiguous to me, but Squishy Muffins is no longer on NRG. So likely he'll be finding a new team to be on, maybe even fielding his own. But my goodness, one of the longest tenured spots of all time, Squishy on NRG. And the messages between him and his teammates were super emotional on Twitter. But NRG kind of needed this. I like Squishy. I'm a big Cloud9 fan. And I was back on the day when Muffin Men turned into Cloud9 and he, had some of the greatest performances of all time. But NRG needs a change. As a perennial name in Rocket League and the crowd favorite in North America, Justin and Garrett need a different third. I think Squishy has been the weak point of that roster. So good luck to NRG. Good luck to Squishy. A lot of roster stuff is going to be starting to happen. Worlds is around the corner. Teams are starting to figure out what they want to do with their roster since they're not going to be at Worlds. But we'll see. Plenty of Rocket League news, though, this week. Boston Major was amazing. Truly one for the record books. Looking forward to Worlds next month already. Super exciting stuff. League of Legends never disappoints, and this week surely did not. So let's talk about T1, the storied and legacy organization from Korea, is struggling. This week, not only did Gen.G, their coach, leave or is let go, but Faker is fighting an injury. And so they have to call up their challenger mid laner Poby, I believe is his name. and it did not go well. This is not really looking great for T1. They're still, trying to ensure that they make playoffs and can hopefully have a Worlds run. But with Faker out, this team is arguably bottom 4 in the LCK. So they really have a lot of work to get done. And now with Gen.G leaving, now to be fair, in Korea, the typical rumor / understanding is that the coaches are more of like general managers. And I don't think it was any different for Gen.G, but Gen.G is also a storied individual. He's a GOAT. He's on probably a Mount Rushmore. But they got rid of him, and now Faker's injured. Taking a few weeks off is what it sounded like. So we'll see what happens. But for right now, T1 looks to be kind of imploding a little bit. Plenty of work to get done, though. The season's not over. And with Gen.G looking as dominant as any team has almost ever looked, there's an uphill battle for T1. Also, in the LEC, Astralis is potentially having talks with selling their spot. Now, sure, these spots are worth a ton of money, so I get it. Especially with Astralis being in other esports. I mean, it could be more lucrative for them to sell and move on. I mean, we look at what Misfits did. Sold their spot for what I think it was rumored 20-30 million. Then they take that money and invest in a bunch of creators, rebrands, really changing Misfit into something more, something that probably offers a lot more money. But they tried to sell, I think, or they were in advanced negotiations with Team Falcons, an ERL team, I believe. And that didn't go as planned, or Riot didn't approve it. So that is also going to be a little interesting. I don't know if their plan is to merge at some point, or maybe just sell outright, or maybe they're just fielding offers. But Astralis leaving LEC and leaving League of Legends, pretty big news. A fantastic update from Riot Games regarding Worlds and their format, and I am super excited to share this. Their play-ins format has changed / expanded, improved upon. Almost like every major region is now, or not major, like every major and minor region are participating in the play-in format. It looks fantastic. There's a ton more games. And I think this is something that, as a League of Legends fan, I want to see. Sure, the minor regions probably aren't as skilled and their games aren't as, precise as the best regions in the world. But I would argue they're a ton of fun. I mean, you see a lot of uniqueness in these games. So it's incredible. And I'll share the bracket here. We can look at it. It's fantastic. Look at how many games we actually get to see. October is going to be fantastic. And I'm super excited to see what Worlds looks like this year. I think early favorite, probably Gen.G, with perhaps, I mentioned earlier, the most dominant season so far in LCK. But we'll see. There's tons of time, plenty of teams out there. We'll see what happens. Also, another update, a little bit more on the serious side. So Detonation Focus Me had some allegations come out this week, and it turned into a pretty big story. Toll2, one of their players, is talking about some toxicity and harassment, et cetera, from some of the staff on the team. And as a result of the investigation from Detonation Focus Me, they actually got rid of 2 of their staff members. And I'm going to look here. It's their head coach Kazu and coach Saros. They have both been let go from Detonation Focus Me. And it really seems like DFM as an org has Toll2's back, and honestly the players back. So that's a pretty big deal. So, I mean, really honestly, shout out to DFM for handling this as well as they did and taking it as seriously. Because you don't really see players coming out on top when these sort of accusations and things happen. All hope and prayers go to Toll2 dealing with it, and whatever comes of it. I know the org's supporting him. They're going to work together. Fantastic news. And we'll see what happens with the coaching on them. I may sound a little biased in this, and it's truly because I'm a big fan of Ludwig, and I truly aspire and build some of my content ideas based off him. But we have to highlight the Ludwig Agren Championship Series number 5. It happened this week. It was a $50,001 tournament. That's important because it puts his as one of the higher cash prizes because it's over 50,000, and that's typically a standard for events, round out and zero. But it was a phenomenal event. I didn't get to catch too much of it, so a lot of it was watching VODs and catching back up. But my goodness, what an event. Truly building a phenomenal production and booth is such an important part of Smash, in my opinion, and they did not disappoint. The gameplay was great. The production was great. Highlighting mogul moves. I mean, they're putting it on. But let's talk about the players. Leffen with possibly one of the greatest clutches I've seen in recent history in Smash. And Hungrybox, I think, finished top 4. Mango goes out in that 5th to 6th spot. It's a phenomenal event, obviously highlighted, and the top 16 probably didn't look outside the normal. But TSM, I think, very happy with how Leffen performed this week. Also, I don't know their names, but there's a few Moist Moguls up there in the top 16. Can't remember them off the top of my head, but I'm sure that felt good for Ludwig, to have his partnership org with Charlie, having some players in the top. I told you all it was a busy week in esports. There's not going to be any cooking this week. I'm going to take this time to tell you all about a few more things that came out, or a few more things that are important. First, Blast Premier Pick'ems are out. If you want to go submit them, do it. Let me know who you're picking. I want to see if our guesses are kind of similar. But that'll be fun. Blast Premier obviously know how to put on a good show. Excited to do Pick'ems. And I think if you go perfect, you get entered for a drawing to win some Steam money. So check that out. Also, Europa Halo. So they're one of the largest Halo, if not, well, they're probably the largest Halo grassroots organization in Europe. And they've partnered with Na'Vi to put on a bunch of events throughout July. Those signups are also live. So if you're interested in Halo, you got a team you want to play and you're in Europe, good luck. Na'Vi and Europa have partnered up and are putting on, I think, 4 events in July. So incredible news, super exciting. And then also, can't talk about this week without talking about the Bali Major. This was the 3rd and final major of that series, the Dota Pro Circuit. And I think this one kind of went the way people expected. Gaming Gladiators put on another clinical performance in the Dota 2 scene and dominated the competition, came out on top there. So congratulations to them. Also, as I said, Blast Premier Pick'ems, go submit them. If you want to go play Halo, go sign up. Plenty of stuff this week, and I think we've covered most of it. And then without further ado, we have our top 5 this week. Highlighted a lot of Rocket League, obviously with the Major and the LACS5. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Toasted on the wall, Alpha's in front of him, clearing the space for his teammate. Always so aware, but Zen has some defending to do. Seiko's not going to let him do it.
Oh my word!
How can someone so small be a brick wall?
Seiko to the sky, gosh, it looks confident today. 60 boost, a triple tap. Unable to find its way in on the air dribble. Rise up now with one reset, the second. The touch!
Rise!
Magnificent!
The Rise surprise! Look at him go! Zen's trying to get as much height as he can from within the goal. Rise picks his spot.
Gen.G is just going to cover.
And Showmaker in a lot of trouble here as he is trying to just get damage on the Bulldog. Maybe he's not in trouble at all as hopping forward again. Showmaker stays calm under the pressure of the 2v1 and takes the kill.
Look at this from Showmaker's perspective. Hex Flash timing is perfect here with the Emperor's Divide. But guess what? He has Leap and he has insane damage.
He has neutral to play. He just seems too nervous.
Stage!
Yep.
Yo!
You remember? Everyone remember.
This is great for him, though. I don't even know what I'm remembering, but I remember. Oh my god.
Being on the left side's better. You can bounce off the tree and tech.
You can tech it. Nair doesn't send.
Oh, no, it's too high. Yeah, go be safe. Go be safe. Oh, he plays the game!
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
That's it. No, it doesn't kill you to charge it!
Oh my god!
wrap up last week in esports. Thank you all for being so patient. Sorry this is a day late. Might be kind of a semi-common thing as I travel and attend some of these events. But thank you all for your patience. Please like the video, comment, tell me what I got wrong, what I didn't, how you feel about some of the things. Tell me your pick'ems. Tell me everything. Next week looks to be a little lighter. I'm kind of hoping. But of course, I will be here and catch you up on it. So have a good one, and I will see you all next week. GG's.